Welcome to E&H BBQ Live Part 2 Pre-Recorded Edition. First off, we just want to thank everyone that tuned in to our Facebook Live broadcast, either on our Facebook pages or Millersburg Brewing Company's Facebook pages on Saturday evening. So as many of you know by now, we had some technology issues and we were unable to broadcast the Facebook Live as we had intended that evening. So, you know, technology is really great when it works, and it works most of the time, but when it fails, it can definitely throw things into disarray. So unfortunately, that's what happened that evening, and hope we didn't disappoint too many of you. So the good news is that even though the Verizon signal may have stopped, the beer did not stop flowing. And so we decided to go ahead and continue with the recording, continue with the event, and bring you this pre-recorded session here later in the week. So in tonight's pre-recorded session, we're going to be joined again with Chef Lisa Pucci Delgado, and we're also going to be joined with Millersburg Brewing Company's head brewer Marty Linden to discuss barbecue and beverages. So for those of you that have been to Millersburg Brewing Company, you know what a treat it is to visit, but I'm sure many of you, or most of you, have not been to Millersburg Brewing Company. They are located right in the heart of Amish country, right in downtown Millersburg, and they're now celebrating, I believe this is their 8th year in business. You know, they've really built up just a fantastic local brewery. I remember when several years ago, you'd walk in, they only had a few beers on tap, they just had one smaller room, I don't believe had a canning operation, there wasn't really any food available, and all of that has since changed over the last 8 years, and they've really grown into something special. So while we are going to feature the barbecue and the beverage pairings tonight, we're also going to give you a sneak peek into the brewery itself, as well as their canning operations. You know, I'm really confident that you're going to enjoy what we have to bring to you this evening. So what I would suggest is grab your favorite beverage, whatever it may be. I can tell you for me, it's going to be the French Ridge IPA. This is one of their best-selling, if not their best-selling beer that they have on the market today. But whatever it is, grab a beverage, sit down, relax, and join in the fun this evening. Hopefully you learned something and enjoy our segment. So before we kick things off, though, with Chef Lisa, we're going to start out with a giveaway, just like we did during our first segment. Of course, the giveaways are going to work a little bit differently for part 2, simply because we are not live. We don't have the benefit of the live comments coming in as we ask questions. So we have 3 giveaways spaced throughout the segment tonight, so keep an eye out for them. But we'll do one giveaway right now, but for the other 2 giveaways, we will just basically take a pause during the video. We'll probably ask you a question, or we'll ask for you to take an action of some sort in the comments. But all we ask you to do is to put your response in the comments section for all of these giveaways, and then we're actually going to come back on by the end of day on Monday and choose the winners, and then we'll notify you, of course, if you are a winner. So we're going to start out tonight's giveaways with the same thing we did on part 1, and that's we're going to be giving away 2 E&H Ace Hardware logoed drink tanks mugs. So we have a red one and a blue one. And one of the reasons we're giving these away, we just introduced these to 2 of our locations, our Millersburg location and our Medina location. Hopefully we can bring them to more stores soon. But we really like these because these were designed for beer. Now, you can put anything in them that you want, but the reason they're really good for beer is, first of all, they're only 16 ounces rather than your typical 20-ounce coffee mug. So they're actually a lot easier to hold in your hand, particularly if you have smaller hands, but they're easier to hold in your hand to drink. They also will they will keep your beer cold for, if you're sitting indoors, your beer will stay cold for at least an hour in this. And I know what you're thinking. If you're one of those fast beer drinkers, think about if you're outside next to the hot grill on a hot summer day, it's still nice to keep that beer cold, even if you drink it faster than most of us. So these are really just a nice little mug to have around. You can throw them in the dishwasher. They'll go through the dishwasher just fine. So we're going to have 2 winners. Each winner will receive one of these. And what we're going to ask you to do right now is in the comments section, please just tell us what your beverage of choice is when you're barbecuing. It can be anything. It can be beer, bourbon, water, milk, a soda, anything. Just put in the comments section what your beverage of choice is, and like I said, by Monday or on Monday, we will choose 2 winners to receive these along with the other giveaways that we do tonight. So, all right, so that's it for me for now. I know you're not here to see me. You're here to see Chef Lisa and Marty from Millersburg Brewing Company. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Chef Lisa as she prepares her corn dish for on the Traeger this evening. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's segment, and we'll see you in a little bit. Thanks a lot.
Block it out. Okay. Hey everyone, welcome to our night here, or evening at Millersburg Brewery. This is the second part of our series leading up to Cinco de Mayo. You guys already know I'm going to be doing the pork belly tacos, but I'm going to do a little something in the beginning that I've done. Actually, I did for my menu last week for my weekly menu, which is bacon wrapped corn. So I want to kind of show you how to do the bacon wrapped corn. Then we're going to go inside and talk about all these wonderful beers that Millersburg Brewery has, and show you a couple of the items I ordered off the menus, and so you can see that. And also what I'm going to pair with the pork belly tacos on Cinco de Mayo. So I'm going to show you real quick. We are in corn season. If we live in the country, Millersburg's country. I live in the country because I'm in Geneva and Harpersfield. Corn is definitely in season. You don't see the packages anymore. We can actually buy ears of corn now, which is a good thing. So I'm going to show you how to do bacon wrapped corn. So peel your corn. Don't take your husks off. Oop. All you want to do is just get some of that silk out because it'll just scorch in your grill. And peel it back. Okay. We'll just do a couple of these so we can go inside and talk to Marty so he can tell us a little bit about Millersburg Brewery. I know I went to the market and I got these ears of corn, but I had to be able to, it's different now, of course, shopping for things because there was a big sign. Because when you go shopping for corn, the first thing you do is, peel back a little bit, make sure your corn's okay, but you can't do that now because of the pandemic. So you just gotta do one of these, and I hope your corn is good. So far, I think we're looking good. Okay, remember, take your silk out, get all those extras out. Okay. All right. I got my beer going too, guys. The beers here are great. If you have never gotten a chance to come here, you need to come. So, I went to my local butcher, got some good bacon, and we are going to start wrapping the corn. What you want to do when you do this is take your bacon out a good half hour or hour before you do this, because cold bacon is going to make you insane if you're trying to wrap the corn. So make sure it's jiggly jiggly, nice and warm, room temperature, because then you can, and don't get really thin cut, get a little thicker cut. Then you can stretch and the bacon will be pliable enough for you so you can start wrapping your bacon, and it'll be sticky because all that fat started melting already. It'll stick better. Cold bacon won't stick and you'll go crazy because it'll just fall apart on you. Okay, just start wrapping your corn, stretching it out. I mean, what else is better? It's a time of season for corn, and bacon makes everything better. So, shit. Bacon, bacon, bacon. There's one. Bacon makes everything better. And go support your local butchers and everything. A lot of times you guys don't realize, get good bacon, you go to your local butcher, even eggs and things like that. Go support your local farmers and your local people, because it's a lot cheaper to go buy from them than when you go to the grocery store. For example, I haven't bought store-bought eggs in probably, I don't even know, 5 or more years. And you go to the store and some of them I see for over $5.49 a dozen eggs. And I get beautiful eggs and chickens from my local farmer, Contraband Farms, which is actually a veteran-owned farm. And my yolks are golden, they're delicious, they're beautiful and golden. And it's like $3 and under. So go support, you're getting a better product. Even with your bacon and go to your farmers, you're getting a better product. The farmers know what they did with the animal, and everything, so you always want to support local. But let's get back to this bacon wrapped corn. Okay. Next of what I'm going to do, we're going to spruce it up a little bit. Get your favorite barbecue rub. I'm going to use B&B's Swine Shaker. It's got great flavors to it. And I'm going to dust the corn with a little barbecue rub, add a little zing to it. Get a little barbecue flavor. And what's nice when you do barbecued corn, this is your butter now, okay? The bacon fat is now your butter. So as it's melting and crisping on your grill, all that fat's going in your corn and giving you that bacon deliciousness.
Set it down on the table or something for now.
Okay. We are going to throw these on the grill. Then we're going to leave this area, go inside, and talk to Marty about these beers that he has that is going to lead us up to our next event, which is going to be Cinco de Mayo. We're going to have some giveaways as well. I know we couldn't go live tonight, but stay tuned. We'll figure out how to get you the giveaways because we have great giveaways. As we're doing every one of these events, we're going to do giveaways. That's why you don't peel the corn, because you can do this. And when you take them off the grill, you can do this as well. Uh-oh, a little flap. Okay, let's go over to the grill. We're going to set these at 400 degrees. Okay.
All the gyro.
And we're going to leave them alone. Leave them alone. 400 degrees, and you're going to want to check it after about 15 minutes because everything does work different, even if you do this in the oven, which you can. But check it after about 15-20 minutes just to make sure that's starting to crisp. But once your bacon starts to crisp on the outside of that corn, you're going to want to check it every 5 or 10 minutes because it's going to go real quick. Okay, let's head inside to Marty.
Okay, well, hopefully you enjoyed watching Chef Lisa prepare that bacon wrapped corn. I can tell you that we had the opportunity to see it all finished at the very end and even try some, and it smelled unbelievable. So you're definitely going to want to stick around to watch her finish that out. But before we get to some of the beverages with head brewer Marty and Chef Lisa, we wanted to give you a little bit of sneak peek into the brewery itself. Most of it is actually located in the basement of Millersburg Brewery. And, you know, Millersburg Brewing Company is not like one of these big fancy breweries, everything's shiny and new and these big operations. They have actually taken a couple historic buildings in downtown Millersburg and over the last several years converted it into this fully operational brewery. So it's pretty neat. You go downstairs, in some cases there's really low ceilings, in some cases they've actually cut holes in the ceiling or holes in the first floor so they can bring the fermenters up through the floor. You can actually see some of the fermenters from the first floor, from the tap room as well. So it's really this pretty unique setup that we wanted to be able to share with you. So we're going to cut over to that video here for a few minutes, show you some of the actual brewery operations, and then we will come back for some of the beverage pairings. So I hope you enjoy this.
So with the brewing process, the first step in the whole brewing process is we take the malted barley, wheat, whatever we're brewing with that day, goes through a roller mill, which crushes the grain, just barely crushes it, opens it up, because we need the hull of that grain to make a filter bed later on. So this being the first step, our mill room with the roller mill and the grist tank, everything's loaded into the mill and into the grist tank for a full batch of beer. Okay, once the grain is milled and into the grist tank, we bring it into what's called the mash tun. The upper half of this tank is a mash tun. We auger the grain into the mash tun and drop it into the mash tun with water. Depending on the beer, certain temperature water. In the mash tun process, we're converting the starches in the grain to sugars that will eventually be converted to alcohol. This is just a giant mixer. As it comes in, these blades mix up the grain with the water, and it'll sit here between 30 and 60 minutes to do the conversion from starch to sugar. Okay, once we've, it'll sit in here for anywhere from 20 minutes to 45 minutes to do that conversion of the starches to sugar. And once the sugars are converted, or the starches are converted to sugars, we'll start what kind of resembles a percolator coughing pot. We'll pull the sugar water off the bottom of this tank and recirculate it back through the grain to get all the sugars converted and get as much sugar into solution as possible. And after about 20 minutes, the sugar water, which is now called wort, becomes clearer, and going back to crushing the grain, all the grain hulls from the barley create a filter bed in this tank in the mash tun. So we're just recirculating the sugar water through those grain hulls to clear it up. Once it becomes clear, we start pumping it into the boil kettle. We'll collect up to 385 gallons of sugar water or wort in the boil kettle. We'll bring it up to a boil. We'll start to add hops, anything that's being added to it. We'll set in the boil kettle for, depending on the beer, anywhere from 75 minutes to an hour and a half. Once we're done boiling it, we'll send it through a heat exchanger to cool it down. We collect the cooling water back into tanks to reuse for our next brew water, and send the cooled wort off to one of the many fermenters to ferment. We'll add the yeast once it's in the fermenter. Depending again on the beer style, it'll spend anywhere from 9 days to 3 weeks in the fermenter fermenting. Once it's fermented out and it's as low as the sugars are all ate up and converted to alcohol and carbon dioxide, we will then move it to a bright tank and finish the carbonation process in the bright tank, and then keg it or can it from there. We also have what's called a barrel aging program. The first set of barrels here is our Pope's Imperial Pumpkin. It was put into these barrels on September 10th of 2020, and there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12 barrels sitting here. These will sit here till sometime August. We'll pull them out and move it to a bright tank and keg and can this as barrel aged Pope's Imperial Pumpkin. The upright barrels beside this are tequila barrels. They were once used rum barrels that were sent to Mexico, had tequila in them for 2 years, sent back to the barrel broker, and these have the barley wine, Shaman's Magic, that we made just a couple weeks ago. It was put in the barrels on March 12th, and they'll sit in here. These will probably sit till October, November. We'll start sampling the beer about July, August to get a feel of where it's at, where the aging process is at, and then these will be put into right now 500 milliliter bottles for resale late fall, early winter of 2021.
Okay guys, welcome back. We are inside of Millersburg Brewery, and this is Marty. He is the owner of this wonderful...
Brewmaster.
Oh, he's the brewmaster. I'm so sorry. I'm so
Brewmaster and partner.
He's the most important person here. That's okay. Yeah, he is the brewmaster here at Millersburg Brewery. He's going to tell you a little about his beers that he brews, and then I'm going to try to figure out what to pair with my pork belly tacos, because that's what we're going to demonstrate and make on May 5th, on Cinco de Mayo, which falls on a Wednesday this year, I think. Isn't Cinco de Mayo on a Wednesday? Wednesday or Thursday? It's in the week, so we have to do what we got to do, guys. Yep. So let's talk about a little of that, and I did order myself a little bit of food because they also have a full menu here. They have burgers and sandwiches, flatbreads. I got the pot stickers, which are made homemade, and of course, if you're drinking beer, you gotta have soft pretzels, you know?
Definitely have to have a soft pretzel.
Gotta have soft pretzels and beer. So Marty, let's talk about the brews.
Okay. We'll start with our lightest beer we make is our Killbutt Creek Kolsch. It's just a light German style Kolsch beer, very little hops, 5.5% ABV. The next beer is our lightest in our light category is our Lot 21 Blonde. It's just it was our first beer we made here 8 years ago as the transition beer from the macro lagers to a light yellow ale. And that is our largest selling beer in the tap room is our Lot 21. Another light beer used for thirst quenching, a lawnmower beer is our Tangelicious, a tangerine beer. It's got real tangerine puree in it. It's like 5.5% alcohol. Then the third lightest beer is our Lady Justice. This one is hoppier. It's hopped up with both German Hallertau hops and U.S. grown Mosaic hops. It gives it a little bit of fruity and earthiness to it. Then going a little stronger, to the IPAs, our flagship beer is our French Ridge IPA. That's our largest selling volume of beer that's outside of the tap room. And we've added hazy beers. This Dank Democracy is a pineapple hazy. It's been a big seller for us coming into the spring here. We make several IPAs, but the pineapple one has really taken off.
That pineapple one might be the one I might pair, Marty.
I think that would go really good with the
that one, and you have one that has like the tangerine, right?
Yeah, our Tangelicious, which is a little lighter beer. The Dank Democracy, Dank, people associate the names with the Dank being a strong IPA, but this is actually a very mild IPA. The name Dank Democracy actually we borrowed it from ex-President Trump's son-in-law, who instead of saying democracy dies in darkness, which he was he was talking about the New York Times statement.
Gotcha.
He tweeted democracy dies in dankness. So it was like, okay, so we pulled the name from that.
So yeah, those would be good because the tangerine one and the pineapple one, I think, because I'm doing more of that, Spanish flair with the pork belly, and I probably will do some type of maybe pineapple salsa if I use that might be good. And with the tangerine, those citrusy flavors.
That would definitely go good.
We can drink two different beers. It doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, right.
We can drink two different beers with the pork belly tacos. Why limit yourself to one?
For sure.
Okay. Yes, excellent. So we're also going to do some giveaways. I know we're not live tonight, but we're going to be doing, I think you have like a swag package.
Yes, there's a swag bag.
Swag bag. Let's see what we got. Well, tell them what they're going to win.
Well,
we'll figure out how you're going to win.
This one is a growler and the growler carrier bag. That's the one prize, and then the other is there's two T-shirts, which will be two separate prizes. The tags on it, stickers on it.
Oh, that's a cool shirt.
Drink
that's a cool shirt, guys.
Drink local beer,
like that
and they
shirt.
can come in and pick out the size that they need. These are just smalls that we pulled off the shelf for the show, and then our shirt that we sell the most of, that is our most popular shirt, is just a black shirt with the Millersburg logo on it.
I love that you put the Ohio on there.
Yep.
Love it, love it.
So those are the giveaways for today.
the other giveaway we'll talk about in a little while. I think Ace Hardware has a giveaway too as well. I'll find out what that is. But I have a giveaway for you guys too. And also I have a surprise for you in the upcoming events that we have coming. I have a nice big prize for you, but we'll talk about that when we go check on the corn. I also want to talk about the last live video that we did. You guys had some great questions of, how do I grill this? What do I do this? And I always tell you, and I'll tell you each one of these videos because I like to be out of the box a little bit. I don't like to be typical in what I do. So if you ever go to my Facebook page, my website, you can kind of see the different things, like even my weekly menus. I don't do typical, even though I do a lot of grilling. I do my fine dining on the grill as well. So I like to be out of the box a little bit so it's not just your typical big old meats that go on there. There's so many things you can do on the grill. So you guys had some great questions last time and I loved answering them. I got to them all after the live video, after I got home. I went through and answered, I think I answered all of your questions for you. If I didn't, please let me know. I love your questions. So if you have any other questions of, what's a go-to? Maybe there's something you're afraid to grill. What are you afraid to grill? Ask those questions because don't be afraid of that grill because there's so many fun things you can do. And I think one person did ask about desserts, and absolutely you can do desserts on the Traeger. So you also have to think with the Traeger, which I didn't realize before, you have to think about it as a convection grill. So if you are having your convection oven going, and you're gonna bake some cookies or maybe do a brownie or upside down cake or stuff like that, you would set it at the temperature just like you would cook and bake. You could do the same thing on the grill. That's how this grill works. So we're gonna go through all that, especially with the demonstrations coming up all summer with Ace Hardware at different locations. And remember, that's open to the public. So you guys can come out to that, maybe do some taste testing. Fat Daddy Meats will be with us because they're gonna be supplying all the meat for us. And I'll be going to the markets to get in the fresh vegetables. We'll be putting together some great things like whole meals, how to do the side dishes, how to do the mains. Sometimes I might just concentrate on a dessert, but we're gonna have a lot of fun with this summer. So I'm so glad you guys are joining us. And I think we should go probably see what's going on with our corn here in a minute.
All right, we're going to take a bit of a break from some of the beverage pairings right now because many of you, or some of you may know that Millersburg Brewing Company has a canning operation. The canning operation is relatively new in the last several years, but it's really allowed them to expand their distribution throughout Northern Ohio. And earlier this week they were actually canning, so we got an opportunity to see that canning line in operation. We have about a couple minute video so all of you can kind of get a sneak peek into what happens before that can makes it to your grocery store shelf. So check out this video and hope you enjoy it.
Okay, we are back outside. We just heard about all the beers with Marty, and we're back out to check our corn to see how our corn is doing. But I want to talk about really quick, I did mention all these different events that are coming up with E&H Ace Hardware at different locations around Northeast Ohio. But we're going to be doing giveaways at each one of these, but we're going to be doing a nice big giveaway. We are actually, from the last live video, got a lot of comments on this bad boy right here. It is a beautiful cleaver, very heavy, but we're going to be giving away one of these cleavers from Gunther Wilhelm with the logo on it, so you can get your meats chopped the right way. This thing weighs probably almost a pound. I mean, it's a heavy little knife. All stainless steel, one piece of steel. It's not, molded together handle that's going to be on there. It is one piece of metal all the way down. I've had my knives from them for years, and they still stay perfect all the way through. Never had a problem. It's the only knives I own. That's why I'm recommending it to you guys. We're going to be giving one away to you guys as well. This is a very, very good knife. Go to the website. You can check it out at Gunther Wilhelm. But let's go take a peek and see how our corn is doing. And we are done, guys. Woohoo! Okay, so I am going to pull these out. Okay, let's get these out. Woo. Okay, so zoom in on those beauties. Everything is perfect. That bacon fat's all melted into the corn. And you have the perfect barbecue side dish. Super simple, super delicious, and you're eating veggies and you're eating meat, so hey, can't get any better than that. Even though, yes, you do have a little bit of carb, but as long as you eat healthy and eat whole good foods, you shouldn't have to worry too much about anything, as long as it's always about moderation, right? So cheers to you guys. We're gonna go back in.
Okay, we're going to take a quick pause so we can do the giveaway from Millersburg Brewing Company. So, as you see here, Millersburg Brewing Company has graciously offered to give away a couple great things to 2 winners tonight. Now, these items really do need to be picked up in person, but don't worry. If you live within the Millersburg area or pretty close to it, it shouldn't be an issue. If you live a little bit further away in one of our other markets, what I would highly suggest is that you take a day and take a trip to Millersburg. Take a trip to Millersburg Brewing Company. You won't regret it. It'll be a lot of fun. You can pick up your prizes, choose your t-shirt size. And even if you don't win, honestly, you should just take a trip to Millersburg Brewing Company. But we're going to give away, we have 2 giveaways, and each of them include a choice of one of the 2 t-shirts. It also includes the local carrying bag for the growler, and then it includes the growler itself. So, of course, we still have to adhere to the laws, so we can't include the beer in the growler, but once you come to the brewery and pick up your stuff, of course, you can sample a few of the beers, figure out which one's your favorite, and get your growler filled up, and you'll be on your way. So what we're going to do to ask you to enter for this giveaway is in the comments section, tell us what your favorite beverage of choice is when you are barbecuing. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be beer. If it's Millersburg Brewery beer, that's fantastic. But anything, just let us know. What's your favorite beverage of choice when you're barbecuing? Go ahead and stick that in the comments section, and like mentioned before, we'll choose a winner toward the end of the day on Monday for those 2 great packages. So.
All right, guys, so you saw the corn. It's perfect side dish. We're going to come back in a little bit, and this is a flight that you can get at Millersburg Brewery, but I got a few beers that maybe I want to pair with those pork belly tacos, so we're going to try some of these, but I want Marty to explain the flavor profiles for you guys so you understand some of the ones that I chose to pair with those pork belly tacos on Cinco de Mayo. So Marty, tell me about these.
Okay,
that I picked, that you helped me pick.
Chef Lisa picked a good variety here to go with the pork belly tacos. We do have 20 different beers on tap. and you can get 4 in a flight, or you can get as many flights as you want. But what Chef Lisa picked out, the first one is our Tangelicious. It's not a tangerine juice, but it's got tangerine flavor, body to it. Really
It's light.
fruity,
It's nice
light.
and
Yeah,
light.
it's you
Guys.
could drink it all afternoon because it's both light and bodied, lighter
Oh
ABV.
yeah.
Nice
I
tangerine.
taste that nice tangerine
That's-
under there.
yeah.
It's very nice.
Tangerine
Very
aroma.
citrusy. I like that.
The next one she picked out was our Dank Democracy, which is pineapple. We actually infused the beer during fermentation with pineapple puree
I can smell
into
it.
the fermenter. I mean, it's got the flavor, the body, it's
Oh
got
yeah.
the pineapple in it.
Right
And it's-
away. And you know what? It doesn't take away from that beer flavor either, so you
Oh.
get that nice full beer flavor.
There's so many of them that use a lot of juice and flavoring. We try to use real fruit puree and not overdo it, so it's still a beer, so you
Right.
still have that
Right,
beer
that's what
backbone.
I'm saying. I can taste that beer come right through, because a lot of beers that do flavor, you taste flavor and
That's-
not the beer. So your craft of making your beer stands out big time in these.
And
What's our next
well,
one?
we'll pass up the next one is the peanut butter porter, which the peanut butter kind of messes with your senses for a little bit.
Sure.
So I'll have you try the number 4 is the backcountry burning. It's a Russian Imperial style stout that was aged in bourbon barrels that had been used at Bissell Maple Farm up in Ashtabula County. They put maple syrup in once used
That's
bourbon
my neck of the
barrels.
woods.
Yeah, for sure. And they will leave the maple syrup sit in the bourbon barrels for several months, dump the maple syrup out of it, sell they're known for their
Yes,
maple
they are.
syrup, their bourbon infused
I'm
maple
a
syrup.
little
But
excited because
so-
I buy their maple syrup, and I always buy the bourbon barrel maple syrup.
That-
Oh my
it's
God,
good
it's so
stuff.
good.
And
yeah, I
so
definitely want
that's the
I love dark beer too, though.
and it's like 12%
Oh,
ABV.
yeah.
But it is really smooth.
Got a
smooth
good
drinking.
kick, guys. Let me tell you, that's good. You can. Oh my God, I can taste the bourbon flavors. I can taste the maple. I can taste.
Get some vanilla and oak
Mm-hmm.
notes from the barrel in there.
I need a good steak dish.
Oh my gosh.
I need a good steak dish with that one. All
For
right, so
sure.
now we're gonna get to this one,
So-
but I'm gonna take a bite of this pretzel to clean my mouth out a little.
So yes, the Nut House is our peanut butter porter. It's a seasonal beer that we normally have it in the tap room year round, but for packaging in cans, we usually have it from late fall to early spring in package available, and it's been a good hit both as dessert beer. People have used it in making icing, making donuts, making all kind of different things with it that we've
Nice.
had.
Let's give this a try. Oh yeah, I smell it. I smell it.
It's like sticking your finger in the peanut butter jar.
All right, guys. You know what? We might do maybe one of these E&H hardware demonstrations, the ones that you guys are all invited to. It's open to the public. This one, we might make this a dessert pairing and maybe do this with something peanut buttery. And that's good.
Well, thank you.
Yum. Yeah. So let's move on to some more giveaways. So we can get you guys started on questions. If you have any questions again about grilling, please list them in the comments so I can get to them and answer your questions. And don't forget also, I'll get my giveaways out. You can splice it. Don't forget, before each event with E&H Ace Hardware, the ones that are coming up after Cinco de Mayo, because remember, this is just a little pre-series. The other ones that we're doing are going to be a little more involved because you're going to see more of the cooking, more of the prep and all stuff like that, open to the public. Don't forget Fat Daddy Meats is going to be there with a tent as well, showcasing what they have. So you can buy, if you want to buy what I'm making that day from them, you're more than welcome to. They'll be there for you. And let's take another sip. But I will be posting on the events the menu. so you guys can kind of look and see what's going on. It won't be a sort of like, I'm not going to like surprise it on you. I want to get the interest of what I'm doing, so I will post so you can see the different menu events. If you have any suggestions, which I did get from the first live video of what you wanted to make or see, I'll take those as well and use your suggestions of the bulk of people of what you're looking to make, because a lot of people want to know about steak, or maybe a lot of people want to know how to do salmon. Some people want to know how to do different things with chicken breast, whole chicken. So whatever, I'll take the votes on all of them, and that's what I'll do with those events, so I can get the bulk of people of what they wanted, the most popular things that people wanted. I'm going to give away a bottle of fig balsamic glaze. Now this is a company, I have a lot of sponsors. Mardona Specialty Products, they're out of New York City. They're one of my sponsors. Big Green Egg's one of my sponsors. Big BGE's one of my sponsors. And just some of the things that I use, I want to share with you guys as well. But I brought this to give away to you guys because this is really good on some steaks or pork tenderloin. So whoever wins this, I'll probably do one of these dishes so you can repeat it at home with this fig balsamic glaze. It's just so good.
As you can see, Chef Lisa has graciously offered to give away one of her fig balsamic glaze containers, and this will come up in a future recipe that she's going to be cooking, probably at one of our on-site store locations later this summer. So we're going to go ahead and give that away right now. What we would actually like you to do is, using the comments section, please let us know just what kind of grill you have. We oftentimes are talking about our Traeger and how to use the Traeger grill, but if you walk into one of our stores, obviously we've got Weber grills, charcoal grills, gas grills, we've got smokers, we've got the Big Green Egg, we've got a whole range, and so we know that a lot of you have various preferences out there. So just let us know in the comments section what kind of grill are you generally using at home, and that'll get you entered into the drawing for the fig glaze. Good luck.
So good. You'll get addicted, I'm telling you, you'll be addicted. So I'm going to donate this, and this is going to be one of the giveaways today as well. Again, we will figure out how to get this together, because you know how live events go. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't work, but that's part of the technology that we all have to deal with. So thank you for understanding. We are so sorry, but we still wanted to get this video out to you guys. So thank you so much for joining us today. And updates for the next one will be posted through E&H Hardware's event page and on their page. Thanks again for joining, guys.
All right, well, hey, we just want to thank everyone for joining our E&H BBQ Live Part 2 segment this evening. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you got something out of it. Even though we weren't able to execute the Facebook Live, I think we brought you a lot of great content and a lot of great information from the pre-recorded event. So don't forget, the third part of our three-part digital series will actually be occurring on Wednesday, May 5th. It's going to be Cinco de Mayo themed. We're going to be doing pork belly street tacos. We will be broadcasting live again from Fat Daddy Meats. We got a pretty strong signal there, so I'm pretty confident that will go off okay, and you'll be able to join us on the Facebook Live. But again, Wednesday, May 5th, 5:30 p.m. You can find the event on our Facebook page, or if you have problems locating it there, you can jump onto ehhardware.com/events. The link to our Facebook page is right there. You can also access it from YouTube Live as well. We've got the YouTube Live link there for you as well. So thanks again for joining us this evening. Hope you had a good time. Hope you learned something, and hopefully see you at the third part of this three-part series on Wednesday. Thank you.